scoot a little closer. Getting up close and personal. Okay. Alright, so hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kanisha, for those of you who don't know, and I'm currently an English teaching assistant living in France, but that is not where I am right now. I'm in New York City where my boyfriend lives and where I'll be living come this summer. Very excited about that. But today I wanted to talk about why I came back to New York and all that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the video. They have been doing construction all morning, so hopefully they chill out long enough for me to make this video for you guys. And then I've got to go do some Christmas shopping, and I also don't know why my sweater is so wrinkled. Well, yes I do, because it's been in a suitcase for the past 24 hours. But so I'm excited to be back in New York for many reasons, but one of the reasons is because I'll actually be able to film some videos. As you can see, the lighting here at my boyfriend's place and the background is a lot better than the orange dark lighting in my room back in France. So I'm gonna get some videos out while I'm here and post those, and then when I get back to France I'll be doing a lot more traveling around Europe, so we'll have some travel vids for you guys. But until then, we're just gonna be thankful for good lighting and a white wall. So going back for the holidays, or I guess I'll probably start off by, also sorry if I'm like moving around. I'm in a swivel chair and I like just keep moving. I'm gonna try to stop though, because I feel like it's distracting. But so I'm doing a program where I'm living in France for 7 months. So I've been living in France since the end of September and I'll be there until May, and I'm teaching in a high school. I actually have a video about what TPIEF is if you want to watch that on my channel in case you're interested in living in Europe or teaching English in France. So I'll start off this video by saying that I've always known that I've wanted to do this program. It has always been my goal, and specifically during this time period. So I knew around this time last year that I would be in France around this time. So that was always something that was in the back of my mind. So if you're watching this when it's uploaded, then you know that Christmas is next week, and that is why I came home. I came home for the holidays just because I didn't want to be alone on Christmas. So yes, I didn't want to be alone on Christmas. And at first I was like, you know, I'm just gonna travel. I'll go to Italy, like spend Christmas at the Vatican, it'll be fine. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized like I wanted to be with family and I wanted to be actually at home. I also kind of started feeling a little homesick around the end of October, which is when I bought my, around the end of October, early November, which I think is because I was hanging out with some people that I went to university with. We were traveling. I love New York, but it's so noisy here. But so we were traveling around, and I think I just kind of got homesick, like being around people that I knew from back home. So I ended up buying a flight home. I will say that if my boyfriend did not live in New York, I probably would not be going home, just because the ticket prices literally to any other city in the US were so expensive. The only ones that weren't, you know, $500, $600 were the flights to New York. For those of you who don't know, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, but so I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and the flights to Atlanta were outrageous, absolutely outrageous. So that's like kind of the main reason why I was able to go home. Most teaching assistants aren't going home just because it's so expensive unless their parents are paying for their flights, because our salaries are not enough to buy $600 plane tickets. So that's the first thing. Luckily, my family lives in Michigan, so kind of our Christmas holiday plans, if you're wondering, is we're gonna leave New York tomorrow. We're taking a train to Pittsburgh, and then from Pittsburgh, which is where my boyfriend's family lives, from Pittsburgh we'll go drive to Michigan, and then Michigan back to New York. Sorry, I thought I heard construction. And so then Michigan back to New York after that. So it kind of just worked out really well for me, which is one of the reasons why first I was able to go home. So after searching for plane tickets, I found a cheap flight from Basel Airport, which is the airport that's closest to mine. Which is the airport that's closest to my city. I live in Belfort, France, which is on the eastern side. In our airport, that's the closest airport. It's a lot closer than going to Paris and then flying out of there, which isn't really important. I just thought I would say that's why I flew out of Switzerland. So I ended up finding a cheap flight and I came home, and I really had to think about coming home, just because, for starters, like, you're only young once and you're only like alone and able to go live in Europe for 7 months. Like, that's not something that you can just do at any time in your life. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity that I have. And I was kind of thinking, like, this is the only time that I'm here. Like, it's only 7 months. Like, I should just go explore and see as much as I can while I'm here. Which sounds good until it's the holidays and like all your friends are posting, like friends and family are posting on social media, and you're like not there. And it just feels weird. So I ended up, like I said, I bought my ticket early November. So Thanksgiving, for us Americans who celebrate it, is at the end of November. And I'd already had my plane ticket back home at this point. But even during Thanksgiving, I was just so, it wasn't even like homesick. I just like wanted to be home. It's like I was enjoying my time in France, and we even had a Friendsgiving in France, but it just wasn't the same. We were able to find turkey, which is not common for French people to like have turkey because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving there. So we were able to find turkey, and we were able to make some of like our Thanksgiving food, but it just like, you know, like I didn't have like my mom's macaroni and cheese or like my mom's like sweet potatoes, and you know, so it's just kind of different. And it was just like, I don't know, I was a little salty and jealous just like looking at everyone's plates on Thanksgiving like on my phone, and I was like, that sounds good. I also had to work on Thanksgiving, so I was eating, what did I eat on Thanksgiving? I'm pretty sure I just had like a vegetable stir fry that I just like whipped up. So that was my Thanksgiving meal because we celebrated our Friendsgiving the day before Thanksgiving. So that kind of like put in my mind, I was like, yeah, it's definitely good that I'm gonna go home. So I'm here because I just didn't want to be alone on Christmas. My original plan was to go to Italy. I was gonna travel Spain and Italy and like spend New Year's in Rome, and it was gonna be great, but I can do that another time. I only get so many years, you know, with family members. Family members get older. People also just die like tragically, you know, out of the blue. That's a thing that happens. That's kind of morbid, but it happens. And you just never know like when the last time you're gonna be able to be with your family is. So if you're financially able to go home while you're studying abroad or living abroad, I would say to do it. That's not to say if you're just abroad for the semester, like don't go home for Thanksgiving. I don't even know if you could go home for Thanksgiving because it's like a weekend, but like if you're actually spending like long-term time like abroad, then I don't see anything wrong with going home. At first I kind of felt bad because I was like, I should like, you know, really like be taking advantage of this and exploring, but I can do that another time. I plan on going to Italy and Spain at the end of April anyway, so it'll be hotter and it won't be cold, and hopefully, you know, it'll be like a better time than if I was there in the dead of winter. So that is why I ended up coming home, and my family also just made me feel really excited because when I was like, oh yeah, like I'm coming home, everyone was like, yes, like we can't wait. And like my aunt, like my mom had been texting me, and they're like, oh, like do you need anything, like we're stocking up all your favorite food, and it's just great. It's just really nice to spend this time with family during the holidays. So I'm back in New York for 3 weeks. Super excited about it. Well, not just New York, but back in the States for 3 weeks. Super excited about it. I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A today, which if you're from the South or you live near Chick-fil-A, you know, like like life without Chick-fil-A is just hard. Okay, life without Chick-fil-A is not a life that I want to live. And there's no Chick-fil-A in France. So I'm gonna go there now. I'm gonna do some Christmas shopping, but I've also been really good about posting Instagram stories and pictures from everything that I'm doing in Europe, specifically in France, but I have also traveled to different places. I've been to Bosnia, Croatia, Montenegro, Switzerland, and I think that's it. I plan on going to London in January, so make sure you're following my Instagram so you can keep up with all of my travels. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. I hope you're spending this time with family, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!